All right, baby. The second year of the Valorant Champions Tour is already underway. Rosters have shuffled, with the first transfer season already come and gone, with NA in particular being mixed up. So how have these teams transformed, and where have our old favorites found new homes? Let me tell you. All right, everyone, before we get into the video, I gotta remind you, as always, the like button, the subscribe button, and to ring the notification bell. If you don't, I hear Riot's bringing back the Ares buff in full force, and they're gonna credit you for bringing it back, so thank you. It seems like just yesterday, as we watched Ascend stand together and raise the Valorant Champions Tour trophy above their heads. Triumphing over old favorites like Sentinels and Gambit, as well as new ones such as Crew, Ascend proved that they are a force to be reckoned with.
Nats is on the other side of this, but all he has is that Spectre. He's already seen one pass. CNET finds one. It's all on Redgar now. And this is what it comes down to. One more man to stand, and Redgar,
30 seconds left.
All the hours you've put in, thousands upon thousands, is down to a 1v4, and it's done! Ascend are your Valorant Champions winners! The first of their kind to etch their names in the history books. And they did it in the shadows, surprising so many. And they've worked so hard.
But teams are already gearing up to take their throne, and the way they're gearing up is by shaking up their rosters. The first is maybe the biggest news that hit the NA scene this offseason. 100 Thieves Nitro has returned home to the world of CSGO. This was a badly kept secret. Pretty much like everyone knew, we were just waiting for an official announcement. So that happened, and Nitro isn't the only Valorant player to have made the switch back to CSGO. Both Floppy and Automatic returned to CSGO for Complexity and EG respectively after some brief stints in the world of competitive Valorant. And of course we have the entire 100 Thieves saga, which actually now involves another team, T1. T1 brought in Steel from 100 Thieves. Remember when that whole benching thing happened? Right before the LCQ, 100 Thieves made the decision to bench Steel, their IGL, and sub in their analyst Boy as their fifth man. At that time, they also added Seven to 100 Thieves as a sub. Now both him and Steel have moved on from 100 Thieves, and those spots needed to be filled. 100 Thieves have signed Baby J and Eccles, joining the team after what was a tumultuous end to the Thieves' season. And because I care about you so much, I want to save the embarrassment from your Discord VC friends, it's pronounced Eccles. I know, it threw me for a loop too. Just say it with me now. Eccles. Good job. Good for you. 100 Thieves are once the top dogs in North America. They're gonna have to climb their way back up to the top with a fresh lineup, and we're gonna have to see if they can pull it off. T1 also snuck in there while 100 Thieves were shifting and took both Steel and Seven to their team. Will they prove to be assets that 100 Thieves didn't utilize properly? Will this bite them in the butt? Will Liz have to buy T1 merch now? Let's check the bank account. God, I hope not. Now, Sentinels have done something a little different. They've made no roster changes. Sentinels is staying with their core five: Dapper, Sick, Shazam, Zoms, and Tens, including Raucus as their coach, who you might remember as the person who came over from Fahey's after the LCQ, and who I might remember as the person who I interviewed and didn't record the audio for. But I digress. Sentinels are one of the few teams that haven't made any roster changes. And that begs the question, why? Especially when it seems like everyone was watching and waiting for them to make any sort of change. Looking at their history, it seems as of late that the once juggernauts of the game and Masters 2 Reykjavik champions have begun to falter and stumble. Then Champions came along and things just weren't working. Sentinels were known for being sharp and consistent, and we just watched them, in Shazam's words, fall apart. But to some people's surprise, the team itself hasn't fallen apart, and I think it's pretty obvious why. Sentinels has a great lineup of skilled players that works well together. Did they perform incredibly well at Champions? No. That's not a reason to blow things up when they've already dominated for most of the time they've been together. Cloud9 didn't win it all either, and while Vanity is a newer addition to the roster, they haven't made any changes since he joined the team. Also, give credit where credit is due. We've seen some major improvements and showings from teams all around the world where you might once have been worried about NA domination. This doesn't mean any of these teams are bad, it's just more of a equilibrium. But regarding the whole NA domination, let's go over the roster changes and make you go, oh, and message that one Discord server you actually enjoy being in.
Welcome to Liz's roster roundup. Definitely recorded in the exact same day. Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay, and if I pronounced anything incorrectly, I got no sleep last night, sue me. Dicey went to Fahey's clan, with Fahey's picking up 2 members of Teal's team. Mixwell is benched from G2. Lakia, who played a grand total of 1 time at Champion to the Vision Strikers, moved to Exist. Fnatic replaced Doma with Brave AF. Doma went to 10-star. TSM brought on Corey and Rossi. Cryocells joined Xep, replacing Pure R. LG brought on B-Dog and Mata after dropping your boy Dre and a Proto. Your boy Dre went to EG. Crazy Raccoons has a new-ish roster. Xander left Soar to join V1. Team Vikings parted way with their entire roster. Zerzia bought the X10 roster with Surf replacing Patafan, who went to Overwatch. Ninjas in Pajamas has a Brazilian Valorant roster. Guild brought on Coldamenta, Russ, and Trex. And finally, Andbox brought on Odorous, Lear, and Jonah P. I'm sweating. So there you have it, a lot of shuffling that went on, but there's a bigger picture to discuss here. I know it might seem scary to see names that you know and love like Nitro leave and new names come in that you've never even heard of, but trust me on this one, this is good. When Valorant's competitive scene first came into being, there was a sort of perfect storm of a raging pandemic and a floundering NACS scene, or rather a hibernating NACS scene. The games are similar, the skills are transferable, and the competition for roster spots wasn't as fierce as CSGO. So to me, it was obvious that there would be eventual overlap. We saw a lot of former CSGO players move to Valorant, like Steel, now on T1, Skadoodle, a major winner who was on T1, the dynamic brother duo of Scream and Navera on Team Liquid, and Tens. A lot of you may know him from Valorant, but he did get his start on CSGO. But now we have this arrival of almost 2 separate ecosystems. Valorant are now curating their rosters from people who are born and bred from the game, and CSGO has this sort of return home of these original heroes and icons. Instead of going out and getting the best CSGO player possible, teams are now realizing they need to fill the holes that they have. Maybe they need an initiator, maybe they need a smokes player, maybe they need a jet player. And before you get your memes ready, just know that a stronger separation from these 2 games is better for both. Better separation, more homegrown talent, all good. So what do we want to see this season? As fans of the esport, not like individual fans of teams. Liz, what does that mean? I'll tell you. I want to see competition. I want to be kept on my toes. I want to feel the highs of winning and the lows of losing while watching my favorite teams compete. I want to see strong contenders for that championship trophy with no clear leader. I want it to be a good fight to the top. And hopefully these teams with newer and old lineups can give that to us. So wherever old, the first transfer season is coming on. Did you know it was pronounced Eccles? I really did not expect that one. I was like, E6? Esis? Welcome to Liz's roster roundup. My phone locked. 1 second. This is a really good drink. I highly recommend it.